let's keep on going to the next one.
If you watched my last video, I was speaking to the amount of black men that are currently in Cartagena. So
This is a different sister, I believe. But let's go.
just to
No, that was her. That was her before, and now she's clearing up what she said and why.
be clear, what made this very interesting to me, and this is not my first time in Cartagena. However, my first time in Cartagena was during the pandemic, and so it just wasn't nearly as busy. So this was my first time experiencing Colombia, I think, in a more realistic form of just what, the average flight consists of. And it was a extremely large amount of black men. And for reference, I'm a full-time travel content creator, which means I am traveling all around the world often on flights all the time. And I can honestly say that it is very rare for me to see a large number of black men on a flight that I'm on. It is very, 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 very rare. So to arrive and have a flight full of men.
Now I'm pausing it real quick. She's a full-time travel blogger, so she's saying how rare it is. Because guess what? A lot of black men have been going on vacations and stuff like that with their families, or just not going at all. It's a lot of brothers that still helping and that'll push back against passport bros as well and be like, "Oh man, why y'all niggas running overseas? You can't get no pussy here. You a clown, that. All this shit. They gonna do the same clubs, the same shit, the same man. I lay up with my girl, and they gonna get all Mr. Smooth for the chicks here and have 2 or 3 side bitches, and everybody's gonna be fine with it. God forbid that one brother actually wants one to himself and one only, and then gets a passport and goes overseas. So what she's saying is she rarely sees black men on these flights because guess what, brothers? We're not fucking traveling. As big and as more as this movement gets ready to go, Monarch Travel Entertainment is in here. I appreciate you. Where'd your comment go? I think I lost it. Hold on. Want to bring you up on the screen. Oh, y'all in here cooking. There we go. Low out of you too. Monarch Travel and Entertainment. I appreciate you being in here. But as brothers get these passports and start moving around, you're starting to notice how many men do push back against it. So the fact that she's saying now she's starting to see more and more black men, the right people are going. It's not just going to be the passport pookies. Once dudes actually start having conversations about business and going to different places in these other countries, you're going to see the uptick. It's not just about the women, but I'm going to let sis keep on cooking.
But also to see other flights full of men. And the customs line was crazy long. So when I say that there were black men everywhere, I literally mean there were black men everywhere. But what was the most jarring to me is the realization that I think there's a lot of discourse on the internet, and there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's just dusties, it's just broke men, it's just men that other women wouldn't date. I saw lots of very attractive men. I saw lots of men who looked like they had means. They looked like they had their stuff together. They were dressed well, they had good luggage. Like these were not men that you're just like, oh girl, nobody wants them. And so for me, the video really just came from the actual shock of, oh, y'all really be outside with it. Y'all are really coming to Colombia, and this is the type of time that you're on. And I say that because I didn't just see men like, okay, cool, like you're going to Colombia with your homeboys. What was the most shocking to me, as I was waiting for my Uber, there were women in club dresses picking up men, and the time was very much like, oh, you've been here before, but
Pause it real quick. This one video, she is dispelling off of one trip. She is dispelling a lot of shit that's been said about the passport bros in a negative term. That they're fat, sloppy, thrown away, don't nobody want them, they're broke, they can't dress, everything under the sun. But I'm gonna let sis keep on cooking.
your homeboy's first time, and she brought somebody for him. And that had me like, oh, okay. And I see that there's a lot of commentary about what black women look like or people's shapes.
Pause and rewind it real quick because it's something she put up here at the top that I want to acknowledge. Also, for reference, Cartagena is not a place where people widely speak English. It is very rare outside of high-end hotels. This is true. I ran to some people that had, good broken English or whatnot. So the brothers that are going on a consistent basis, this is what I keep talking about. Download Duolingo, do whatever the fuck you need to do. Start learning pieces of the language. Common courtesy goes everywhere. Learn how to say thank you and please and excuse me and hello, good morning. Basic stuff. Wherever the fuck you going, whether it's to a Spanish speaking country or over in Asia somewhere, start learning the basics. So if these brothers are going down here consistently, and she just said, "Hey, this isn't your first time, but it's your homeboy's first time." The guy that has been there multiple times, he's starting to learn and pick up on stuff if he's not actively trying to learn his damn self. So brothers aren't dumb. We're going down there. We're taking care of business. Yes, we're having fucking fun. The same, whatever the fuck you want to say about passport bros, I guarantee you we can say it times 10 for black women in Jamaica. But I'm going to keep on letting them cook.
A lot of commentary about what black women look like or people's shapes and sizes. And yes, like some of the Colombian women that I've seen are beautiful and some of them are mid and some of them are not. And I think women all over the world look different ways and have different body types. And so it's super fascinating to me, the energy that is just rooted in, oh, well, you know, the reason why black men are going to Colombia is because black women are not desirable. That's wild and egregious. Ain't nobody got time for that. But also too, I will say, as a woman who's been in Colombia, I also feel like the energy of men here is just predatory. I was at dinner last night and a table full of men came up to myself and the two
Wait for it.
girls that I was having dinner with, and the energy was very much like, "What's up with it? Come through. We got a boat tomorrow." And these weren't black men. These were men from.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
Y'all caught that right. A lot of these guys can be predatory, but these weren't black men. The non-black men were running over there to the regular American black women that happened to be down there in Cartagena. I just had a discussion with a friend too. She was down there in Medellin, ran into a group of guys, like 8 dudes, and she was down there with her homegirl who's a black female, and you know, I guess they kind of hit it off or whatever, and was like, "Oh, I would have never met you in the state. This nigga lived way the fuck up north. She lived way the fuck down here in Atlanta. Would have never met in the States." But bro was over there and told her the same shit I had been telling her, the same thing so many other black men are saying. We're tired. We have already done the work. A lot of us are divorced. A lot of us have raised children. We've raised somebody else's children. Now it's our turn. My homegirl just don't get it. She still thinks of love and, you know, flowers and candy and all that good shit. And just don't understand why, you know, black men and black women can't get along. But I keep telling her to look at the fucking landscape. And black men are actively making a choice and a decision. And black women in general across the board are not used to that in mass. And let it keep on going.
Mexico, men from North Carolina who were white men, and men from other parts of South America. And the energy was very much just like, we're here for a good time, not a long time. And I feel like, you know, that is the energy of men traveling to Colombia. And what's even more interesting is that all the black men that I saw at the airport, I ain't seen none of them in the streets. And I would only assume that's because they laying down somewhere.
So she ain't seeing him wilding out in the streets. A lot of the shit that's been said negatively about passport bros, she wasn't seeing. I'm not done. I got the next one. I'm gonna go back to another video she did to follow up. Because she responded to somebody on TikTok. But this is sis. She had a pivot video to the last video she just did about when she was leaving. Once she left the airport, then she did a clear video like, "Look, I'm telling y'all, these guys aren't these broke dusties that y'all keep saying they are." So somebody on TikTok asked her a question, so she's responding to this.
A lot of my followers saw my video about.
So it says, this TikToker from the kicker for me was that while there, most men will not even acknowledge you. Like, bro, we know why you're here. You can still speak. Understand this, sisters, because I had to tell my homegirl this. So she was like, it was like a table of 8 guys, and they did, you know, they really didn't talk to us, you know, as black women. I had to tell her, we used to y'all. The fuck? He didn't go down there for a black American woman. If I'm gonna go down there and talk to a black woman, I am gonna talk to an Afro-Colombian, an Afro-Brazilian. I went down there for a purpose. I'm used to y'all. And even with her conversation, she was like, the guy was, he was so surprised that, you know, I was so sweet and da da da. I'm like, first of all, he meeting you on fucking vacation. So if you weren't gonna smash, at least he could say he had a good conversation. Now maybe y'all kept in contact when you got back. That's cool too. When it come down to it, the bulk of the women that he has been around and what he's hearing and seeing is what got him down to Medellin in the first place. You simply went down there to visit a friend because I had already told her, stay in your women, your passport cis spaces, your Mexico, your Jamaica, and sprinkle in Dubai. That's where y'all go. The men go to DR, Colombia, Brazil, Thailand, Philippines. Those are our spots we usually go to. You go where you're celebrated, correct? So I told her, first of all, your ass ain't had no goddamn business down there. But your homegirl was down there. She ain't had no business either. But she wanted to go travel and do what she wanted to do. So you were visiting her. And then you saw what the fuck I've been telling you for so long, live and in person your damn self. When she came back, my homegirl, she was talking like this lady on the screen. I think she goes by, I forgot who she is on TikTok. Calculated Opulence, I think it is. So salute to her because we can give pushback all day, bro. We don't know. She didn't have to do the video. I'm going to say it like that. She didn't have to do the video and kind of expose the truth that all these brothers going down ain't broke and dusty and getting stuck with no money when they go these places. So she a solid one for that. She get a feather in her cap. I hope she realize that shit and don't become a rich auntie, so to speak, and sit her ass down when she get back to the States and try to get a man. But anyway, moving on. Let me let her cook real quick.
The passport bros in Colombia. And we're basically saying like, oh, when I was there, black men wouldn't even acknowledge me. They wouldn't look in my general direction. They wouldn't speak at all. And I had a lot of followers saying that. That has not been my personal experience. Last night I went to dinner. I saw two guys. They both spoke. They were actually kind of like, moderately flirtatious. I've seen, some other men and they've kind of like.
I got to pause it. I'm sorry. Theo says, Stephen Dunn was chatting with the chick online when I was stationed in Korea. She asked, do I speak Japanese and how was the Chinese food?
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
A lot of my followers.
Don't be the ugly American. I'm going to pick it back up where Sis was leaving off. Don't be the ugly American. Listen, learn about something other than where you're at. Let's go.
And they've kind of like barely, it's very much given like, girl, don't look too much. You don't need to see all this. But, it's been a mixed bag for me. I wouldn't say that every man that I've seen hasn't spoken, but I'm also going to be honest and say that for the number of men that I saw in the airport, and especially in a place like this, because it's small, the walled city is small, Hexamani is small, the weather's been bad, so I haven't done a boat trip yet. I'm sure there will be lots of people, doing boat trips. But for the amount of black men that I saw in the airport, I have not seen a fraction of them in the street. And just so you understand how small it is, I was at dinner last night and there was about 7 girls on my flight. They all were having dinner, at the table behind me. So it's very common to just be bumping into people. That was even my experience on my last trip. So, yeah.
Bring it back on me real quick. But the sisters are complaining about brothers not speaking to them. But I think I just broke that down on why. You went there for a different experience and get some of the culture too. Because everybody want to chalk it up to the women. Let y'all know, you may not know this, women outnumber men in the world. Wherever we go, there's going to be women.